Shawn Michaels basically embarrassed Hogan. But hey, Hogan, see, brother, Shawn Michaels wanted a babyface match. He wanted to be straight up good guy versus good guy 3-match series where you win. Oh no, brother. You have to pull your politics. Not the politics, but politics. You have to pull your politics, brother. And go, well, I think it should be old school, brother. And Shawn went, oh, so you want old school Shawn Michaels? Okay. And he got that, brother. We'll get more into that match when it comes time. But when it comes to 2005, I thought this was a good SummerSlam. Honestly, it's one of my favorites. It is in my top 5. I thought 2005 in general was a great year for WWE. Honestly, I think it's one of the best. When you think about WrestleMania 21, amazing show. You think about ECW One Night Stand, easily one of the best wrestling pay-per-views ever. And just that year in general, so many classics. The Royal Rumble was great too. It was just a great year, great time. Great feuds. Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, Randy Orton, Undertaker, Batista, Triple H. Yo, Kurt Angle, Shawn Michaels. I was going to say Kurt Angle and Booker T. Let's not talk about that feud. Look it up. Look up Kurt Angle versus Booker T in 2005. Gutter sluts. Anyways, now, let's just talk about what we got on this show. Because I do feel like, at the end of the day, I'll remember 2005 more than the other SummerSlams. That's just me personally. Especially for that main event. A couple of details before we get into the actual matches. The show itself was 2 hours and 50 minutes long. The date was August 21st, 2005. I believe it was in the MCI Center in Washington, D.C. Attendance, 18,176. Commentary for Raw, Jim Ross, Jerry the King Lawler, and the coach, Jonathan Coachman. SmackDown, Taz and Michael Cole. Ring announcers, Lillian Garcia, Tony Chimmel, and main event was Howard the Fake. The first match we have on this amazing show. I can't wait to talk about that main event. United States Championship, Orlando Jordan versus Chris Benoit. It lasted 25 seconds. Orlando got into the match. The bell rung. Tapped out to the freaking crossface, and it was over. There was this running gag on SmackDown where Chris Benoit did activities that lasted longer than the match. I remember this one segment he actually made coffee. It took him longer to make coffee than it took him to beat Orlando Jordan. Yo, I get it. People don't like matches like this. I thought it was awesome. I guess for me, it was cool seeing Chris Benoit dominate like that. I don't think we see that often. We never really saw him dominate anybody like that before. So it was cool. It was awesome. The crowd loved it too. So it did its job. It got people excited about SummerSlam. So I loved it. Dud though. Not really a match worth giving a rating to. Then we get into Vicky Guerrero. Excuse me! Okay, not yet. Not her. Vicky Guerrero making her first appearance on SummerSlam as just the wife of Eddie Guerrero. She tries to talk Eddie out of the match with Rey because it's not fair. It's not fair to Dominic, his son. But see, during this time, Eddie was obsessed with beating Rey Mysterio. And no matter what he did, no matter how hard he tried, he could not get a victory over Rey. And as a result, it drove him insane. He turned heel, went crazy, and for some reason still couldn't beat Rey Mysterio, which led him to doing crazy stuff like, okay, if I can't beat you in a match, I'll beat you in real life. I'll take your son. I'll be a better father than you. I'll beat you as a father. I'll beat you in other ways. It was insane. I thought Eddie's best work was done this year. His stuff in 2005 was phenomenal. Seriously, his heel work is some of the best work you will ever see from anybody, let alone Eddie himself. And the stuff he was doing, wearing the shirt, I'm your papi, made you hate him. And this is during a time when, I won't say it's as prevalent, but it was during a time when smart wrestling fans were becoming a thing. And fans were being aware or self-aware of the business and how everything worked. And even then, they were still into what Eddie was doing. Eddie was phenomenal. This entire feud was crazy. But getting back to the segment, he basically tells Vicky that if you don't support me, you can get out, essay. Yeah, he was gone. Eddie was gone. Next match was, oh yeah. Speaking of feuds, Edge versus Matt Hardy with Lita. Well, Edge with Lita versus Matt Hardy. Boy, that love triangle. So in 2005, there was this love triangle between Edge, Lita, and Matt Hardy. It was based off a real life story, not storyline, not kayfabe. A real life story with Lita having a 6-year relationship with Matt Hardy and cheating on him with Edge. Yeah, big deal. Craziness. As you can imagine, this would piss off Matt Hardy, and this happened during a time when Matt was hurt, Lita was on the road, she was lonely, she fell victim to what was I going to say there? I don't even know what that word was going to be. Temptation. What was I going to say? Let's just go with temptation. But she fell victim to I can't even say it. Temptation. And that's what happened. That real life affair got out, and fans knew about it. And everywhere they went, Matt and Lita got "We Want Matt" chants. Matt freaking Hardy chants. It was bad. It was so bad that WWE said, you know what, screw it. We'll bring him back and make a feud out of this. And they did. Matt came back because the fans would not let them forget about anything. So Matt came back, and then we had all that craziness on TV. This was huge. This was one of the best stories going for WWE at the time. I remember being invested in this so badly because I felt sorry for Matt. He didn't ask for that. If you were going to cheat on him, break up with him. But whatever. Lita apologized for it. Edge is not even with Lita anymore. He's married to Beth Phoenix. Interesting how that all worked out. And then Matt got with Rebby Sky and became broken. But at the end of it, this helped out both of their careers. Edge became the biggest heel in wrestling. The biggest heel in wrestling. And Matt became one of the highest acts. So you would think, okay, we got one of the biggest stories going into SummerSlam. Oh, this is going to be an awesome match. About that, this was not the match you wanted. This is not the match anyone wanted. This wasn't even all that good, honestly. Yeah, this was a very lackluster match. I mean, it all ended, and it ends with Edge winning due to a referee stoppage. My reaction was, that's it? All that hype, all that build, and that's how we end this? Yeah, this is one of the most disappointing finishes ever. Ever. Especially in SummerSlam history. The crowd hated it. They hated that finish. Not only was the match way too short, but really? Referee stoppage? That's how we end the match. Very lame. But to be fair, it did its job to continue the feud, to continue the story. They ended up having a steel cage match, I think. Yeah, steel cage match at Unforgiven, which was awesome. And then they had a loser leaves Raw match, which was awesome too. And that was it. Edge won the feud overall, and he became one of the best talents on Raw. Eventually became a world champion. While Matt went to SmackDown, and what the hell did Matt do on SmackDown? He just went to SmackDown. Alright, so yeah, there was that. Still an awesome feud to go back and watch. And then we get into Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio. Ladder match for the custody of Dominic. Yeah, this match. So, I already talked about it in my SummerSlam Classic series. One of the best matches in SummerSlam history. The thing is, I can't really call it a classic. There were a lot of botched moments in here that stopped it from being an absolute classic. But, at the same time, still an awesome match. One of the best ladder matches in SummerSlam, at least. Well, period, honestly, in my opinion. And when you go back and watch it, you're reminded of how awesome Eddie was. Remember, this is 3 months before he died. Eddie died in 2005. Sorry to, break that one to you, but yeah, he passes away months later. It's sad. It is sad going back and watching this because you look at it and you go, he looks good. Ain't nothing wrong with him. But nobody knew. Not even he knew. And to think he would pass away 3 months later. That's sad. Rey Mysterio wins this match. The feud does end with Eddie getting one victory. One victory over Rey Mysterio in a cage match. One. One. But that's all he wanted. He wanted to know that he can finally beat Rey Mysterio, and he did. I wish Eddie was still here. I miss Eddie so much. He was gonna be a world champion. I knew deep down they wanted to make him a world champion, but whatever. It is what it is. Speaking of world champions, this guy should have been a WWE champion. Well, he does become a world heavyweight champion, but look, let's just get into it. Kurt Angle versus Eugene. Really? Really? This is how we use Kurt Angle? After Kurt Angle had that classic with Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania, we really could not find anything else for him to do than do gutter slut storylines with Booker T. I'm sorry. Look it up. Just look it up. Look up Booker T, Kurt Angle from 2005. And this stuff with Eugene. Kurt Angle should not be losing to Eugene. You want to know why? Because in 2005, Kurt Angle was the best wrestler in the world. Kurt Angle was the best wrestler in the world. Kurt Angle was the best wrestler in the world. Yes, I know. You're thinking AJ Styles, Samoa Joe. No. What about Kurt? No. No. It was Kurt Angle. He was the best wrestler in the world. And quite frankly, they should have given him the world championship. What were they thinking? Why was he doing this worthless feud with, of all people, Eugene? What? Okay, and I don't hate Eugene. Again, I feel like he's good at being a comedy character, but they tried to make him a main event player. Like, he's over here fighting Triple H and Kurt Angle. No, man. That's not where you're supposed to be. But whatever. Kurt Angle is up winning, and he gets his medals back. At least he becomes a World Heavyweight Champion next year. But this is when they should have given him the belt. Alright, we see the Divas provocatively washing a limousine in bra and panties. Pouring soap and water over each other. You see people like Stacy Keibler, Tori Wilson. I think I saw Maria, Candice Michelle. And then I think I missed someone. Who cares? They were all hot. I wish they would wash my car. Sorry, I don't know where that came from. Anyways, Vince McMahon was in the limousine. It had this whole emblem, President of the United States, on the side of it. He opens the window and went, "Why not?" Yeah, what was the story behind that? Did he actually try to run for president? Vince McMahon is president. Okay. So these next few matches, I'm just going to skim over. They're all really, really good matches. I think what makes this SummerSlam work were those matches that really sold it. Randy Orton versus Undertaker. The second match in their series, just a great match. I think Orton and Taker had some of the best matches they both could have had in that time. Seriously, I do believe this is some of Orton's best work. And honestly, it's some of Taker's best work, too. Now, their match at WrestleMania might be their best one. Then again, their Hell in a Cell match at Armageddon? Yo, go watch it. Go watch all their matches. Really good stuff. Orton wins this one with the help of Cowboy Bob Orton. This is when Orton was motivated, too. You can tell, if you relate this Orton to the Orton we used to get nowadays, it's a totally different person. Orton was all kinds of motivated years ago. But that was back then. WWE Championship, John Cena, who is now on Raw, taking on Chris Jericho. Good match. Cena wins, and this is Jericho's last appearance for 2 years. When does he come back? He doesn't show up for a while. I know 2008 is when he's on the show with Shawn. So yeah, 2 years. 2006, 2000. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, there you go. Next up is, well, that's 3. My math is off. World Heavyweight Championship, no holds barred. John Bradshaw Layfield, JBL, taking on Bautista. Now, Batista recently moved to SmackDown. I think him and Cena traded places. Look, to me, this is when Batista was the man. Like, I feel like that feud with Triple H shot him to a totally different atmosphere. And during this time, I think Batista was in good shape, and he did some of his best work, and it's sad that he got hurt. And I think the bad thing about that injury, when it happened, he never recovered. I don't think in terms of in-ring quality, it was never the same. He was never the same after that injury. So it's sad going back and watching these matches because I already know this is the last time we'll see him perform on this level because he gets hurt. Still a solid match though. Batista wins with an awesome powerbomb on the steel steps. And then we get that match. We get my favorite match. My favorite guilty pleasure. Shawn Michaels versus Hulk Hogan. Shawn, I love you. I love Shawn Michaels. Look, Shawn Michaels was sending a message to Hulk Hogan. Because to him, he just wanted this to be a simple one-on-one 3-match series where Hogan came out on top anyways. Because he felt that was best for business. And looking back on it, I would have preferred that. I would have preferred Hogan versus Shawn for 3 matches just to see who would be the better one. But instead, no, we had to do it Hogan's way. Hogan said, I want old school Shawn Michaels because I want heel versus babyface, brother. Okay. And he got it. He got exactly that. And as you guys know, he ended up regretting it badly. Because Shawn, okay, you want old school Shawn? He oversold Hogan so badly, it embarrassed the poor guy. It was a laughingstock. He made Hogan look so bad. Everything he did in this match was just insane. And I know it caused a lot of people to not like him, but in my personal opinion, it is one of the greatest things I have ever seen. Ever seen. But that's what he gets. Sorry. You can sit here and be mad at Shawn for doing what he did. I personally think, hey, Hogan, you should have just did business the right way. That wouldn't have happened. You can call Shawn unprofessional all you want, and maybe it was, but come on. What we got was one of the greatest things ever. I love this match. Shawn Michaels lost to Hulk Hogan in to me, one of the most memorable main events in history. Because it's not often you get to see Hogan versus Shawn Michaels. It was the first time, brother, the only time, brother, and the last time, brother. But overall, good show. I like going back and watching this show. I had a good time going back and watching it again. But how did you feel about it? Let me know down below, brother. I'll see you in 2006 for another SummerSlam review. Peace out.